In addition to having a numerical value, intervals also have what is called a quality. And quality refers to words such as major, minor, augmented, diminished, and perfect. You've probably heard them before. And what I want to do is take each of these qualities and discuss them one by one. The first one is the major interval. And the reason we're going to start with that is because it's the easiest. In fact, it relates back to the major scale. Let's take our favorite major scale, C major. If I ask you what is the interval from C to D, then you know that that is a second. Okay. Now, because it's the second note of the C major scale, we call it a major second. Likewise, from C to E, C, D, E, is a third. And since E is the third note of the C major scale, we call it a major third. Likewise, if we go from C to A, that's a sixth, and we would also call that a major sixth. And finally, we have B, C to B, which is a major seventh. Okay. Now, the reason it's important to relate it to the major scale is because if we start with the key of G, if I say from G to A, then that's a second, okay? And we can easily identify that that's a major second, okay? But if I ask you what is a major seventh, then the seventh note of the G major scale is F sharp, okay? So G to F sharp is a major seventh, okay? G to F is a seventh, but it's not a major seventh. G to F sharp is a seventh, and it's also a major seventh. So it must be related to the major scale. Now, the reason I've left off a couple of these notes is because we actually use different names for it. If I say from C to F, then that is a fourth. Instead of saying a major fourth, we use the word perfect, okay? Same thing, it has to relate to the major scale, we just use a different word for it. So C to F is not a major fourth, it's a perfect fourth. Okay. Likewise, from C to G is a fifth, and we also say perfect fifth. Okay. In addition, we also say perfect octave, and we also say perfect unison. Okay. So major and perfect intervals always relate back to the major scale. Okay. With perfect intervals, the same rules apply. Let's look at the F major scale. If I say a perfect fourth from if I say, please give me a perfect fourth up from F, then the fourth note of the scale is B flat. And so from F to B flat is a perfect fourth. F to B is a fourth, F, G, A, B, but it's not a perfect fourth. Okay? So it must be related back to that major scale. Do some practice with this, and then we're going to talk about some of the other qualities in our next lesson.